right, it is King back one more time for yet another Beyblade unboxing video. This one will be B-187 Savior Valkyrie Shot 7. I've already opened one of these, so I'm really excited. As you can see, it also comes with the V-Gear attachment for, what is the name of that? I think it's Nexus, the driver? Or is it Venture? I can't remember with Belial, but it's for the driver. And as you guys know, we've already had, this will be our second upgrade for the stock Dynamite Belial combo. And, well, technically third if you're able to get the Devil Blade, but, you know, if you're not, this is only the second. Couple of things to note before we get started. Again, I only shop from one place. You guys know that. Beyblades and more. Again, the shipping is super duper fast. This was shipped out on Wednesday, and I got it this morning, and it is now Friday. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get to the unboxing. By the way, as you guys know, this is not just a typical Beyblade set. This is a starter set that also comes with the launcher, which is usually not included on your stock boosters. But yes, I'm going to just hop into it immediately after that. I'm going to swap a little bit. So there's going to be a jump cut in a little bit. So just, you know, everything open. And those of you that don't know, there is a small chance, I think it's like 1 in every 83 or something like that, for you guys to get the red version of Savior Valkyrie. Those of you that watch the anime, this is known as Rashad's version. But, you know, I think we weren't lucky this time, maybe next time. So yeah, I'm gonna get to the unboxing. And for those of you that do know about the, what's it called, Instagram, I do part reviews on Instagram, like every release, like every shipment that I get of Beyblades, I try to do a release. This couple weeks have been pretty hectic, but I've already completed the one for Savior, did that a little bit ago. But before we even get to the actual Beyblade, I kind of want to like get this part out of the way because this is a very small release in the grand scheme of things. Because there aren't very many, I mean, there are a lot of things to review, but it's not nearly as much as like a typical thing. So this is like one long piece of plastic, which is beautiful. So you can see there's a launcher. It already has the gold top latch piece on it, and then there's the bottom piece. Those of you that know the BB launchers know that the launchers come customizable. There is our V-Gear, which I will be showcasing on my unused Belial that I'm using as a kind of tester as things go on. So like as every piece comes on, I'll have like a completed perfect Belial that has never been used, and that's kind of the goal here. Now on this side, I'm actually only gonna open these parts for now because this is all I really want to open. Oops, I'm like beating myself up over here. So before we even get to the Savior layer, which is my favorite part, I have to talk about what I would honestly say is my least favorite part of this bay. This is the shot driver. It's a very tall thing, but it is a fused driver, not too much unlike, I forgot what this thing's called. Forgot. Well, anyway, I have the 2 of the 3 previous fused disc driver combos, and it's height-wise comparable to them, except of course it's made for the DB system, so it's got a lot more of a gap in between there. And those of you that knew, those of you that knew Master Diabolos had a pretty sizable gap at the time. This is even better than that. But it's, I like the inventiveness behind this. I just wish they'd have gone about this a different way. I don't know how to manually trigger the driver's switching positions, at all. Actually, I have absolutely no idea how to do that. I would assume, yeah, I have absolutely no idea. But basically what happens is it comes out at the base, and then it's all like, it's like a really tall flat thing. I don't think I can do it. I'll have to put that in at the end of the video. But outside of that, it has this like semi-sharp plastic tip, which this is really annoying, which kills like I don't know, it's not an aggressive enough tip for Valkyrie for me. I feel like with repeated usage, of course, it's going to dull down a little bit, but I don't know, just this is a very underwhelming release. And then the worst part about the driver, I mean, the height is already an issue as like this, but when the gimmick is fully activated, the base juts out to about here. This causes the Beyblade to jump and do a lot of downward aimed attacks. However, the bay is so tall, even when it's in low mode, and I'll show that later, that like layer to layer contact is like hardly ever a thing. Even like in the anime, for those of you that have seen it, Savior has to be tilted at an unnatural angle for it to still be moving forward, for it to actually make contact with an opposing bay. Especially within the DB system where height is being explored the way that it's being explored, this Beyblade's like height is its biggest downfall. And that's really just because of the shot driver. But again, this is a big gripe that I've had with all of the drivers before. I've had the same issue with Generate. I remember the name now. Same issue I had with Generate. It was just too tall. The same issue I had with, I forget the, hybrid. The same issue I have with the hybrid driver. They're too tall. For hybrid specifically, the life after death is amazing. So there's that. And with shot, that's kind of a thing as well. Like the life after death is really, really good. But just, you know, the height, like this height as is the height of your standard DB Bay in its low mode. So, I mean, there's that to think about. Moving on to what I believe is probably the best thing I've seen in a really, really long time. Okay, so I liked Brave a lot. I love Brave. I didn't think that there was a way that they were going to properly capitalize on everything that made Brave amazing while still giving us something new. TT proved me 100% wrong. Savior is quite literally the best thing they could have done with Valkyrie. Okay, so even before we get to Savior, which is the easy highlight here, there is the 7 armor, and the 7 armor is okay. Those of you that don't know, it has a gimmick where this side has a little bit more weight on it than this side, so it's going to cause it to be, because it's uneven, it's going to have a little bit more of an erratic spin pattern. So there's that, which is neat. The chip is very interesting. It actually has springs in it, and you should be able to see that pretty well, so that when the bay is fully clicked, it's going to have a somewhat like a bound attack gimmick-ish thing to it, which is pretty interesting. I don't know in practice how well that works, and I've talked about that on Instagram already when I opened my other set earlier. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work, but I'm like kind of hopeful that it's going to be interesting. At the very least, the fact that the chip is thicker is actually going to help with a lot of problems that DB bays have so far, where, like, I don't know if you guys have had this problem, but like where the chips in low mode don't like to stick on my launcher, because I use the LR string launcher that came with Master Diabolos as my favorite. It's my favorite launcher, so I'd still use that. Even though I have obviously DB launchers, I still prefer that launcher. What was I gonna say? But because it has that sparing little bit of metal, it's still going to be a lot heavier than your typical right spin DB chips. And I think it's about time that Valkyrie got a chip gimmick, because well, I guess the chip from Sparking had a gimmick, kind of. The teeth were, I think, longer or something like that, or had I don't remember. I'd have to find it to specifically say it. But anyway, moving those out of the way, this thing right here is gorgeous. Okay, so the aggressive shape was the thing that initially drew me to it. Like, these right here are made of soft rubber. When I first felt this, I was like, what's the point? They're just gonna fall off. But that's actually the point of the disc. I mean, the point of the layer. The point is for these parts to fall off and for Valkyrie to awaken, to show you kind of this far more aggressive attack pattern. But as is on stock, I've been testing it with the other version of this that I have, and I shall show that to you right now, so I can actually open it. I'd been playtesting it already. This is a still mock combo that I had. This bay has probably the best offensive capabilities of any DB bay so far. Belial could never. Just gorgeous. I love everything about this layer, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna put the stickers on this, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it, and then I'll talk about the Belial parts. So, so now with most of these stickers on, and I seem to have misplaced the last one. I have a little bit of an issue with these. Like, I have to have all the stickers on. I didn't used to, but I do now. I don't know why I'm like this. I love putting stickers on. Anyway, here it is in high mode, and you can see what I'm talking about when I was saying the gap is huge earlier. Like, look at that. Disgusting. But, like, the shape of this bay is beautiful. Like, it's so aggressive. Like, I don't know if I can even, yeah. Gorgeous. This was the best direction they could have gone with Valkyrie. This is the full bay put together, and that's it in high mode, and I'll even swap it with these parts so that I can put it in low mode really quick. This is it in low mode. Like, you see, it's still weirdly tall. Like, I don't know. The shot driver just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I got nothing for it. But, like, I love it on Giga Hunter Dash. Like, if that's to be seen as a thing, I love it on Giga Hunter Dash. It's so, like, aggressive. It's so speedy, and it hits really, really hard. That's probably my favorite part. But anyway, moving on. I'm going to put this back together because it is going to get put up. But moving on. So, like I said, here's the launcher too. Like I said, I have a spare set. Every time that I buy these that come with these extra parts, I buy a second of that set so that I can have a fully complete upgraded Belial when this is all said and done. That's never been used and will probably not be used, just for display purposes. So, this is, like I said, there is an upgrade to the blade or layer for Dynamite. It's called Devil. But it's like a not random, it's like a lottery thing. You have to spend money and then exchange like a ticket at a store or something. And then, you know, as you know, the F gear that came with Fafnir, if I can find the proper way to put it on here, not that way, it's this way. Yeah, that fits directly under it like that, which rounds it out a little bit and adds to its, I think it adds to attack a little bit, but more so what it does is add to its stamina and defense for the layer, which is good. And also, of course, it adds weight, obviously, like that's the big thing. Then we have, I think, what is this? 6? I can't remember. I think it's 6. We have 6. And then the Belial chip. And then that's how those two fit on. Later on, we're going to get a different armor that's going to fit on here at all. So this armor won't even be used anymore. But the armor that we're going to get, I don't wonder if they're going to call it the L gear or what they're going to do. Because I don't see a way that you can attach an armor to this. I really don't. But I feel like they're just going to give us a new armor. But anyway. Then you have I think this is Nexus. Nexus? Yeah, this is Nexus. Nexus, as most of you guys know, is going to have the S gear, which will be released, I think, next month with the Spriggan. It's just going to kind of fit on the top right here and kind of round this out and add a little bit more weight, and it's going to be really, really cool. But today we have the V gear. Now, the V gear, when I first saw this, did not look as big as it is now in my hands. The purpose of the V gear is that it fits in this little crevice right here, and it gets twisted on to kind of round out the shape of this driver. So it actually looks a lot like, what is the name of that driver? Hold on, I have it over here actually. Wave. It looks a lot like Wave in shape, but far more aggressive. And because of the way that the driver was designed, adding the V gear also improves the springs to the point where they're actually even tougher than a dash driver, they feel. But because the V gear is made of metal, it actually adds quite a bit of weight to the Belial combo. And also, because of its shape, adds a lot to its life after death, which really helps with the absorption from the F gear, which is also a very good thing. Like, total, I want to say, like, this bay, I don't know how heavy it's going to be in all honesty, but I already know it's going to be a pretty decent height. This thing needs to be wiped. It's going to be a pretty decent height. I already know that just from looking at it. I mean, height, weight. Yeah, we're on just under 76 grams, which is, like, if I were to weigh this against what I thought at one point was my heaviest DB combo, which, I mean, I probably could make it a little bit heavier. Vanish, Fafnir, Giga, Drift, 3, I believe. Yeah, 3. This thing is almost 76 grams as well. It's like 76, about a little bit, it's heavier, and it's not even complete yet. It still needs 2 more pieces. 3 if you count the Devil Blade, which I'm seriously trying to get my hands on. Then we have the stock combo for the Savior Valkyrie, which, again, this layer is just gorgeous. And you can kind of feel it, the bound gimmick, like it clicks, but if it doesn't click all the way, it'll shoot back, and then that's going to give it a kind of like a thing. It's really cool. But this is about 75 on its own with the shot driver, comparatively to the combo that I'm using with Giga and Hunter Dash, which is only 71, but boasts a lot, I would say, better offensive movement, because again, when this isn't activated, it's going to get like a stagnant movement pattern. And by stagnant, I mean it's literally going to like stay on this tip rather than moving around the stadium a lot. And then it's going to go off balance a lot as well, which is something that you really don't want for an attack type that does this. For one, it's not going to be moving, and then for 2, when it does move, it's not going to be like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like shot has potential, but not with an attack type. Like, it's almost like the reverse of Generate, which I always give credit to because I love Generate because of how fast it is with the gimmick engaged. But like, I think of that more as the reverse of Generate. That's like this, and then when it loses its spin, it goes, that little white part juts out, and it increases its stamina by quite a bit, and makes it drive to the center of the stadium. While I think this is an amazing driver, it's great for mobile attack combinations that could also do a lot with stealing spin or capitalizing on opposite spin. This on Belial would be amazing. I'm sorry, wrong Belial. On Belial, Generate would be amazing if it weren't so tall. Like, that is the big problem I have with it. It is going to be so tall on Belial, and because this is not a DB driver, it's not going to facilitate a low mode, which is the thing that it needs. But again, with these tougher clicks that come with adding the V-gear onto the Nexus driver, with the added weight from the F gear and the V gear so far, this bay is getting pretty good, and it already hits decently. Like I said, it feels more like the F gear adds defense than attack. It's still gorgeous though. Competitively, I could see a little bit of viability with Venture with the V gear on certain combos, in certain stadiums more so. Like in the DB stadium right now, I could see this combo doing some serious work. I'm gonna playtest Shot in the DB stadium later today. I don't have high hopes. Shot is just another one of those gimmick drivers. It's just, I don't know, it's just really too big to do what it's supposed to be doing. Like, I think it's even bigger than Generate. I don't know, it's cool though. Like, the idea behind it's cool. I don't know if I'm still trying to like manually engage this, but I mean, I don't know, it's I give the whole set an 8 out of 10 simply because this right here is more than enough of a reason to buy this set. The fact that it comes with a DB launcher, amazing. Literally just the layer and the chip are more than enough reason to buy this. If you were on the fence, more than enough reason, definitely worth the price that you're going to pay for it. Beyblades and More has a great, like I said, like I always say, their customer service is amazing, but they're pretty good on prices. Actually, I like I said, I only buy from them. I mean, yeah, this set is pretty neat. Like, and I'm really liking the look of Belial so far. Like, I keep looking at it just because it's nice. But anyway, so that I don't get too distracted, King out. I'm gonna peace out now because this has gone on for way too long. As much as I love just rambling about Beyblades, I don't know. This is gorgeous. Can we just